Forget books, libraries are all about the people. Pukekohe director Kelvin Day talks library. Reporter Dina Koster spends some time at New Plymouth's Pukekohe Library, the largest lounge in the province. For years, libraries have been synonymous with silence and reflection, where people should be seen and not heard. But from the time the doors open at New Plymouth's Pukekohe Library, it's a place of action. Tess Clarkson searches the shelves, checking out just a few of the 199,354 items in New Plymouth's library collection. Conversations murmur across the floor, mixed with the tapping sounds of fingertips on computer keys, the squeak of the wheel on the library trolley and the odd whir of the coffee machine. It's a public service designed with people in mind. Last month, Kapongwa resident Elizabeth Williams complained about how the town's library was being used as a dumping ground for unsupervised and unruly children. People often queue up at the doors before opening time at Tranaki's biggest library in New Plymouth. Her claim was dismissed by the South Tranaki District Council, who said the younger generation should be encouraged to use libraries, not be turned away. It's a sentiment supported by Pukekohe manager Kelvin Day, who oversees the New Plymouth Library and 5 other satellite services dotted around the district. He believes libraries are like the lounge of a community. I think libraries are really important community hubs. New Plymouth's facility is one of more than 300 libraries around the country which open its doors, both in person and online, to 50 million visitors every year in New Zealand. From people borrowing their stack of books for the week, to accessing the free internet on offer or getting help from a justice of the peace when they're on duty. Paris Lai uses the New Plymouth Library to get some study done. We provide a huge range of services to help build a healthy community, Day says. Ever since the first book was issued in New Zealand in 1951, the public library has been woven into the fabric of society. James Story, too, has some fun in the children's zone at New Plymouth's Pukekohe Library. Anyone, with the appropriate identification, can join the library, and in order to keep a membership active, all you need to do is borrow a book at least once every 2 years. But you don't need to be a member to walk through the doors. The library is a facility which is open to all. 10 a.m. on a weekday, 10 minutes after the doors open at New Plymouth's Library, the biggest in Tranaki, and its ground floor is already bustling with people. Pukekohe manager Kelvin Day says libraries are just like living rooms. Many of the computer desks on the ground floor have been claimed by visitors making the most of free broadband internet, which comes courtesy of the Aotearoa People's Network. The network provides 750 personal computers to 151 sites across the country, and users can also connect using their own device. Between July 2015 and June 2016, 126,575 log-ons were recorded across all libraries in the New Plymouth district. New Plymouth Library is one of more than 300 around New Zealand. Day says the rise of digital technology has been the biggest change for libraries in the last decade, as people move away from the printed page to the small screen. Their world revolves around their phone, their laptop or their tablet, he says. While technological advances will continue to develop and grow, Day says the library would always remain a key connection for the community. Along with books, music and DVDs to borrow, copies of newspapers are also available to read at New Plymouth Library. Trevor Ansley takes some time out to catch up on the news. "We have people waiting at the doors, waiting for us to open at 9 a.m., he says. It's indicative of its success and its value as a service, which is something we should be proud of. Fines for overdue and lost books from this library is more than $200,000. Library patrons' chapter of frustration with unsupervised kids. Classic Ploy Claire's library steps of undesirables. Elaine Jeffrey provides punters with a caffeine hit at the library's Tranaki Daily News Cafe. Ensuring the library remains a welcoming and safe place for visitors goes some way to explain the presence of the security guard, who patrols the library floors during opening hours. Since 2015, the sounds of Beethoven, Bach and Chopin have streamed out of the speakers installed outside the New Plymouth Library in a bid to scare off the undesirables. The shared space outside of the library has had its share of problems in the past, some of which have required police intervention. Friends Lee Mai and Paris Lai find a quiet spot in the library to get a bit of study done. The classical music was introduced as a way to deter potential troublemakers from hanging around the entranceway and intimidating members of the public. Day says 99% of the time, the open-door policy the library maintains doesn't cause any problems, but the security guard is there to step in when needed. Sometimes there are issues that arise that staff need help to deal with, he adds. By the early afternoon, the hustle and bustle of the morning has died away. The free internet spots are all taken, with people engrossed with whatever is playing on the screen. Upstairs is no different. There is a man, minding his own business, as he works his way through a packet of Griffin's malt biscuits while reading the newspaper. Others have their heads down studying, while a woman eats a late lunch at a desk near the windows. Everyone is here for a reason, they all have a purpose. Whether it's a 5-minute trip or a stay which lasts for hours, the library is a place to be, think, create, escape and learn. One of the more sedate spots in the library is the Tranaki Research Centre, which looks after historical material related to the province, along with an extensive reference book selection. A school group are on a day trip there, bags are strewn by the entrance and kids spread out across the room, some more engaged than others. It's more boring, sick, than school, one boy is overheard saying. However, they don't all feel the same way about the library and what it has to offer. This is actually pretty fun. It's like you're learning about all this history, a young boy's teleclassmate, as they dart across the room. As the students gather to leave, the chatter and hum which filled the room goes out the door with them and it's quiet again. But before they go, a staff member thanks them for coming. "We hope to see your faces again." There are more than 300 libraries in New Zealand. More than 13 million internet sessions are hosted every year. More than 50 million people visit the country's public libraries each year. New Zealand public libraries hosted 23,000 events. Source: Public Libraries of New Zealand. 199,354, total size of New Plymouth District Library collection. 778,756, items borrowed from Pukeriki Library in a 12-month period. $126,575, physical and Wi-Fi connections at all libraries in district. Source: New Plymouth District Council.